global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our channel. Right now the internet is buzzing over what transpired a few hours ago between Wike, the FCT minister, and the naval officer who stood his ground over the issue of alleged land grabbing. Well, as we speak, of course, coalition of Nigerian military veterans have made their statement, in fact demanding that this must happen almost about immediately. Of course, well-meaning Nigerians, lawyers, are also talking about the issue of constitutionality, who is right amongst them and who is wrong, and constitution and justice must follow due course. And then, of course, there's some top political actors who also believe that they have decided they've started pointing accusing fingers. But some other persons are also reacting, saying that much as they do not like Wike, but in the issue of some certain things, the rule of law must prevail. But the question is, both parties, both Wike and the naval officers, believe and strongly are insisting that they are actually true representation of the government of Nigeria and the president of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of Nigeria. But let's dive into the newspaper to find out what each and every sector is saying concerning this matter. Now, according to the coalition of Nigerian military veterans, they've actually asked the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, to apologize to the young naval officer for using abusive language on him during a recent confrontation between the two during an enforcement visit to a disputed land in Abuja. They gave their conditions as well, and very strong one. Now, in a statement by his spokesperson, Abiodun Duruwaye Habat, the coalition of military veterans criticized Wike for verbally insulting the officer during the encounter. The group said a public office holder should not use abusive language against security personnel carrying out official duties. How can a public officer call an officer a fool on camera? He should have engaged the chief of naval staff privately rather than attempting to disgrace a retired senior officer, Duruwaye Habat said. Now, according to him, a uniformed officer represents the authority of the Nigerian state, adding that disrespecting such an officer undermines public institutions. The veterans also faulted calls for disciplinary action against the officer, saying any such move would be resisted. If for any reason the officer is punished, military veterans will occupy the office and residence of the FCT minister, he warned. He also noted that the military officers swear loyalty to the country and not to individual public officials, and insisted that Wike should apologize to the officer. Wike's action demeans the dignity of the office of a minister. He should apologize for using abusive language. It is not acceptable. It is not an acceptable behavior. That is also coming from Duruwaye Habat. But then again, in a contrary view, or should I say contrary, you find out in a moment, Dele Momodu, a renowned human rights activist and a lawyer, have decided to open up exactly on the ground of constitutionality. He asked the question, said, have you wondered if the order Yerima, that's the naval officer, is obeying is legal? He's asking the question, is that order legal? Farotimi asked, opening his post with a series of rhetorical questions that have since ignited discussions online. If Yerima, Wike, and the officer who gave the order are subject to the rule of law, would the officer be able to order a naval officer to secure a disputed plot of land? What is the rule of the court? What is the role of the court? Farotimi's statement was not a defense of either party, but a principled critique of lawlessness and impunity in high places. He clarified that while he personally disapproves of Wike's abrasive style of administration, he remains unwavering in his commitment to truth and legal order. The activist post comes amid growing outrage over the use of armed military personnel to guard disputed private properties in the capital city. Videos circulating online showed an intense verbal exchange between the duo. But then again, a friend and a political associate, though now he has changed his position of Wike, in the person of Dele Momodu, have also decided to speak on this matter, but this time around in a different dimension. And according to his post that I read, I had warned Minister Nyesom Wike endlessly about his lack of anger management, but he never worked on himself. Too much alcohol is also not good for him, physically, mentally, and even spiritually. It is the reason for his messianic complex. Momodu stated, the veteran journalist described Wike's attitude as self-destructive, saying that when anyone has found favor and mercy in the Lord, he should learn not to play God. Of course, Momodu accused, let me read his post word for word. He said, he who the gods wants to destroy, they first make mad. I had warned Minister Nyesom Wike endlessly about the lack of anger management, but he never worked on himself. Too much alcohol is also not good for him, physically, mentally, and spiritually. It is a reason for his messianic complex. When anyone has found favor and mercy in the Lord, he should learn not to play God. Wike had wreaked enough havoc in Abuja with his penchant for land grabbing and primitive accumulation of wealth, actually intoxicating him more than even his alcoholism. He deserves the president's pity and even prayers and an urgent therapy in the rehab. What a tragic hero. People came for the of Dele Momodu, saying that why would you call Wike a hero? He is more of a villain. Well, I wouldn't want to say that he's a villain because he has done quite a lot. You cannot, because somebody will say, like the saying goes, you cannot throw the dirty water and the baby together. Come on, give it to Nyesom Wike. If he wasn't that good, I'm sure the FCT, the president would have made him the FCT minister. But back to the question on ground. While Dele Momodu insists that much as we do not like Wike's aggressive style, but the question is, should that officer, should he be in that land? Legally speaking, should he be in that place? And they're insisting that what is the role of the court? But then when you ask that question of what is the role of the court, everyone knows systematically, even though it is not openly discussed, apart from Professor Dinkalu and the person of Militaey Showdown, who have openly called him the judiciary golden boy, judicial golden boy. Everybody knows that they have a soft spot for Nyesom Wike. So taking the matter to court is as if you're handing the verdict, the victory and everything back to Wike. So everybody have learned to, so to speak, defend themselves. But for the person of Dele Momodu saying, look, much as I may not like Nyesom Wike's ways of aggressiveness, but at this rate, both Nyesom Wike and the officer are wrong. While, of course, the politician friend Dele Momodu believes that, look, he didn't fault anything. The only thing he faulted was Wike's attitude to anger, the fact that he couldn't control his anger temperament, which to some great extent, there's a lot of truth in it. Then the veterans, the military veteran, retirement veteran, are insisting, look, you will not trample on our rights. You will not make our sacrifices to look in vain. You will not treat us like little kids. We have paid our dues. And if anything untoward happens to that young man, then we are going to occupy Abuja and occupy FCT residence, because you will not trample. If you are trampling on any other person's, not on the military. But then again, let's meet in our comment section as we're going to wrap it up. What's your take?